Hey guys, what's going on? Nick with Mission FX here. I'm here at my trading desk right now. We're starting off here on a Monday. So I'm looking at charts right now. Only two trades are in right now, guys. So the first one is GBP JPY. It was this setup last year. I went over this setup in the previous video. So we're still in a sell right now, currently floating. From my terminal execution, I'm at about 105 pips of profit right now. So that's the trade we're in right now. This one's still looking good. I'm going to be holding all the way here to the profit target. We may see a little bit of a bounce right here since this is support, so it may come to the trend line before falling. But so far we're looking pretty good. Heavy downtrend, clear respect. Sellers pulled away from this area very strong. So this is looking good. It'll be a little over 250 pip profit if we hit the take profit target. So the second one we're in is USD JPY. I'm currently in about negative 11 pips right now from where my entry is on my trading terminal. What happened right here is we had price come up here, quickly move away from this trend line area, and now we're starting to pull back down. So I had ended the sell right here. This analysis is in a previous video, so just go watch those videos. Going from about 174 pips of profit just back here to this level. We may close earlier, like up in here, so maybe somewhere like this for like maybe 130 pips or something, but as of right now I'm just setting it right here to see if we can get price to wick out down to these lows, and then we should see price come further to the 50% profit target, the 50% fib level of this whole previous up move. So this is a trade we're still in right now. Everything's still looking good so far. If we crack this trend line and hold above here, then we'll be out with a small loss. If we go to profit target, then we'll have some pretty good profits on this one. Second one I was looking at, or the third one I guess, is GBP Canadian dollar. This right here, we broke out of a downward trend line. So as you can see on the H4, we have our moves downward. So this was pretty good. I like this one. If we're looking at it in terms of Elliott waves, here's our range, here's our break and retest. Have another pullback down here for wave 3, retest up here, and then another pullback here to 5 before we started having all the divergence form. See, these divergences, just like it was just a series of all these divergences before we finally came on back to here. So here's what I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for a break and retest of this area. So we have the break, we have price held above this level and closed above this level. So what I want to see is price to come down to here, and I would really like a retracement all the way to the 61.8 if we're using the fib tool. So the lowest peak to the highest peak. So if we just start falling from here, I'd like to see price come all the way back down into here to the 61.8 level, which is a previous support resistance area. So that's a previous level we're already looking at. So essentially I want price to come back down into here and start bouncing around, like right in here, before I look to buy. And if I see strong wicks and bullish activity here, we'll enter a trade only down in here at this level, and then a stop will go just below it, and then we should quickly go to profit target. Profit target for something like this, if we're looking at the whole previous downtrend, start from here, come all the way down to the bottom right there, be the 50% level, so something like this. Profit target will be right there, so let's just look at our risk to reward if the market gives us a good entry. This will be our entry. Stop loss will go just here. So let's do, we'll risk 100 pips for that. 100 price points. Make sure you're controlling your lot size. And target will be to the upside 490 pips, so just under a 1 to 5 risk reward. And like I said, if we see wicks right here, like strong bullish activity, this will be a very nice trade. So bring that to the side here. We'll see what happens. This could take all week to develop. It could take 2 weeks to come back to. So that's the only trade I'm looking for right now. We could see support right here and it could just bounce, but I like to take the deeper retracements. So that's that. 80 Canadian dollar, let's see what's going on. So we have a break of structure and then a retest before starting to fall. So I don't know why this is here. I'm not in this trade, but I feel like I should be if this is happening. Oh yeah, I was marking this up over the weekend. So this right here is the 50% level of this like sweep up right here. So that's what I'm looking for. this 50% retracement level for the target. I think I got stopped at break even on this, but price still started coming back downwards. So let's see if this trend line is respected right here. So this trend line looks like it's still being respected if price is gonna come right here. So here's what I'm looking for as far as this goes. I'm looking for price to come up. So price would have to come down out of here. I'm gonna delete this one, this trend line. A little bit irrelevant, but this is a pretty solid one. I'm gonna make it a little bit higher on these peaks. So what I want price to do is pull out down to here and then come up and test somewhere in this area, probably this previous level, combined with like maybe the trend line, or just come out and then test somewhere in here before starting to fall. If it starts to fall, that'll be good. This was our range, like a little sideways area. We got out of that area, came back and retested it, pulled up for another wave, came back, and then a final wave before seeing this divergence here. All these peaks are going up, all these peaks are going down. And then we had a little bit of a reversal here to the previous peak. Price came up and played around, so we're just waiting for trend to break and then come up, and then we can look to take shorts all the way down into here. So let me see what the target would be. I just want to make sure this is right. So here's all the way from the bottom to all the way up here. Yeah, and as you can see, that 50 level target is right there. So that is the target. So our trade would look something like this. If we see a break and retest, our entry would probably be somewhere up in here, near this line or near this support area. So I'll put a stop just on the other side of that. Target down here. So 76 pips, risking 41. You know, if I see rejection right there, I may tighten this up. We'll do 1 to 2 risk reward. Risk 38 pips to go for 76. So this will be something you could look at to trade later in this week. And if we see this, of course, it'll be called in the Telegram and everything. So that's what I'm looking for, AC. So CAD CHF, this is something I was looking at last week. I'm not in this trade anymore. I think I put this here because I was looking to enter if price came back to here. But as you can see, price came here and didn't show any signs of rejection, so I never took this trade. Price just blew through it, came down here, and now it's looking like it might continue downwards. So we'll have to see. I'll have to wait for price action to confirm that. I'd like to see it pull out a little bit more, maybe down into here, before coming back up. I just like to see the clear breakouts. Like, I don't like the little breakouts where it's just like a few candles pop out and they come back in and retest. Those are typically fake outs. But if you see price make a clear move and then a long pullback, those are usually the best. If we see price come into here with rejection, I may look to buy, but then again, like, there's no clear Elliott wave pattern. I like to see a clear pattern because it lets you know when the market is likely to reverse. So this would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with divergence. But then see, the market just kept chopping out. Like, we didn't get a break and retest of this area before a continuation. So I don't see anything in here that I would look to take this week, especially after last week. It was a crazy week with all the news. Crazy week last week. But yeah, so right now I don't really see anything that I like on this. Pair is really choppy, so we'll just go on. AUD USD had a clear breakout last week. We fell to the profit target. I had us close a little bit earlier up here because of this trend line, and we had rejection right here, like strong rejection. So I was like, okay, you know, let's just close when we get back here. It's a previous support level. It's also a previous little ascending trend line. So what I'd like to see, I don't think we're going to get this move, but a pullback up here to maybe the 61.8 or this trend line area. Let's just pull the fib out, top to bottom. So 61.8 would be somewhere in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line right in here, and this could take days or a week or two to form, but it'll be a pretty high probability trade if it happens. So I would look to see the market come up here, maybe all the way up into here before showing signs of rejection. And if we start seeing rejection right here, we have the 61.8 fib level, we also have the lower side of this trend line, and we also have the lower side of this downwards trend line from all these previous highs. So this right here would be a very high probability trade, especially if we see the market move up to that area and like an Elliott wave pattern. It moves up here and then divergence, and then it starts to fall, and then it cracks its trend and retest. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. But like I said, this could be, You know, the 19th to July, this could take, 2 weeks for this to form, or it could happen. It could spike up here really quickly. You know, this was all in like pretty much 2 days last week, so you just never know. So we'll be watching this one. I'm gonna mark this one right here. So the euro dollar. Let's see what's going on. I'm not in a trade right now. I think I was just using that to like watch in case it got there. Let's see right here. This pair just looks choppy to me right now. I don't see anything. Yeah, we have a break in retest of trend, but I mean, this was just a really steep downtrend. Euro's just been getting hammered to the downside lately, so yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be looking to take anything in here. I don't see anything. This is really choppy right now, so we'll see what Euro USD does. Maybe if we see a strong move down or a strong move up, we'll wait for a retest to come take a trade or something. Same thing for GU. Like I said, we've just been in a heavy downtrend. I'm very hesitant to want to buy this, but at the same time I'm hesitant to sell because we've already been in a downtrend for a long time. ADJPY, so this one looks pretty cool. We sort of have two peaks respect this little uptrend area, but it's really not that clear. We do have price sort of respected here, but then again it doesn't test the trend line. I don't know, this one has just been going sideways, so I'm not really going to look to take any trades. We are at a previous like little support resistance area. Go to a lower time frame and see if we can see an Elliott wave pattern. So this is what I see. Here's our little range. We have a sort of a break and retest right here, I'd say. So here's our break. We broke out, came back right here for the retest, continued to 3, came to 4, and this would be 5, and this would have to be divergent. So this is divergent, so this is technically looking good to buy. Now this is a very choppy Elliott wave. It's not very clear. You have to be very proficient in identifying it. So if you're proficient in identifying it, then maybe you could say, okay, that's a good trade. I'm only going to be looking to buy because we are on the downside, at least for extended downwards. We're also at a previous support and resistance area. This is slightly choppy, but it could still work out. So here's what I'm going to be looking for. I want to see a break and retest of this. I'm going to take off a few of these lines I don't need, and we'll just grab this one here. So here's what I'm looking for. So it looks like we did have a little break and retest. I like to see it come further out though, so here's what I'm going to want to see. Price come like further up and we'll have like strong buyers jump in, and if the buyers jump in and maybe they crack this level here and they pull back a little bit, if we just see a strong initial sign of strength, I'm going to wait for a pullback and I'm going to get in here to go long. So let's just say we make a trading decision to enter, maybe we see wicks down in here. Let's just say we enter right here. Our target would be the 50% level, so top to bottom. 50% levels right there, so I'm just going to drag this right there. Stop would go just below this level, so let's say 39. We can, yeah, that'd be good, especially if you see wicks right there. So we'll take off the fib. This is what your trade would look like, roughly a little less than 1 to 2, but going for 73 pips, risking 39. Should be a good trade as long as we hold out above this area and we keep hitting wicks right here. But if this just blows through and continues downwards, there's no trade. So that's what I'll be looking at for AJ, but this does not look that great, kind of choppy. So so the franc, Japanese yen, Swiss yen, looks like we're at a level right here, a significant level. This, as far as I guess, this is just choppy too, man. This is going sideways. But this is buyer's territory. But one thing I'm seeing right here is every time the buyers jump in, they quickly get pushed back. Every time they jump in, they quickly get pushed back. So now they've jumped in again. We're already seeing wicks right here. Probably going to get pushed back. So here's how I would like to trade this. Actually, I really don't see anything, to be honest. I see this sort of area right here, so I think price might bounce around in this area before breaking out to the downside. So I think we might see a little pattern and then break out and retest here, but I do not see anything so far. So yeah, that's the Swiss yen. Pretty choppy. Euro GBP. Let's see what this is. So we have sort of price respecting a level right here. I'm going to take this out. Looks like it's irrelevant. Take this out. Let's just draw this level in right here because it looks like a pretty significant level. So respected here, 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 somewhat here, but not really, and now here again. So strong rejection right here. Let's also see what this is at as far as fib is concerned, top to bottom. So we're almost at the 61.8. Didn't quite go all the way there before rejecting, but got rejected near it. So yeah, I don't know. If price comes up to there, it hasn't really made an Elliott wave pattern up to there, which is what I'd like to see. It just looks really choppy. We do have a sign of strength though to the upside. So we could pull back here before bouncing, and then we'll see what happens at this level if we're going to look to trade. But yeah, I don't see anything I like right here. Euro JPY, one of my favorite pairs. So we had the market going up for a while, cracked this level, came up and tested it a couple times. It does look like we're losing the buyer steam. So yeah, this could be this is just, like I said, it's just like a sign of strength. Buyers try to run it up, but they can't get very high. I'd have to see what happens. I'd have to see a sign of strength this way or this way before looking for a retest and then a continuation. But I just don't see anything right here. There's no Elliott wave pattern. Nothing. So let's see what the dollar Swiss is doing. This stopped me out last week. Down, 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 down trend. And then we had that break. Price sort of respected this previous level though, but it got above it and tested before trying to go higher. But now it looks like sellers have taken over. This could be a good trade to go short on. What I would have to see though is, like I said, there's no Elliott wave pattern up to here, which can get kind of like dicey when you're determining how far the move has extended. You know, because it's hard to tell. Like when there's Elliott waves, it's easier because you're like, okay, our break and test before a continuation pullback, and then a final continuation down before you see these peaks going down and the RSI going up. So divergence. Then you can tell, okay, somewhere in here the market will make a reversal, and you know what do you know it did. So this looks like it could be a good area to trade, but I'd have to see like something very specific happen, something like a maybe a move further down, and then a quick pullback up to here, to this level. So let's say this moves down something from like this top, and it moves all the way down to, let's say, like right here, and then it bounces at this level and it comes up to tap this line. This will also be the 61.8 if we see an initial move down to here. So I'd have to see that happen, and then we could look to maybe take a trade right here. If we get wicks and we get a bad entry, it may come down to here, put a stop just above that, and a target here, these lows, and yeah, so maybe you know, 1 to 3 risk reward. But like I said, I'd have to see something good in here. This is taking into account we had like 5 waves down, divergence, spike up, and then price could come and start bouncing off the top of this trend line before continuing. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens on that. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that. If we call a trade, like I said, we'll always call it in the group. Let's look at EuroCAD, see what EuroCAD's doing. Last week I was waiting. We had this like 5 wave pattern down. So this right here was pretty, where was it at though? It's just somewhat dicey. So I don't see it off the bat very clearly. This one was a little bit dicey, maybe that. But that's like super discretionary. Yeah, these aren't even really divergent, barely. So no clear pattern that you can just tell off the bat. But we had price come down. You know, it's been going down forever. We had divergence right in here, with all these peaks going down, these peaks going up, and then we had price kind of like break out and hold above this trend line. So as soon as buyers got a discount, they sucked up the discount right in here and bought. So I think that was my trade too, and I think I missed it last week. Yeah, because I was waiting on it to come here to the 61.8 level, and then I was going to enter a trade. That's why I have this right here. and it literally looks like it hit that area and already got up. So I'll tell you what, if I see price come back down, I don't need the fib anymore, we already know it hit. If I see price come down to this line, I'll just go wick to wick just to be safe. If we see price come down to this line right here, and then we start seeing like bullish rejection, I'm going to look to buy that. I'm going to look to buy that with a tight stop. So let's just say it'll be somewhere in here maybe. The stop like right here. Take profit, we'll just do it the next set of previous highs. So 457 pips, and you're risking about 100 to do that. So if you're just managing your lot size, I might have to use a smaller lot size like 0.5 on this one. Right now I'm still using standards. But yeah, so this is what I'll look to do. Yeah, man, that would have been a great trade right there. Could have already had it, like, you know, break even, stop, a little bit over 100 pips profit. This would have been a good one. But hey, you know, sometimes it happens. I may have to start doing limits, but I don't like doing limits, like buy limits or sell limits, because sometimes price will come there and it'll just smash through it and you won't get any sign of rejection. This right here, you would have seen a strong wick, and then price started to come down again, but quickly started going up. You could have entered somewhere in here with a stop just below that low, and then you just, you know, as soon as you enter, just straight into profit. Came down, didn't even pull a big retracement before just starting up again. It's just hammering this line right here, trying to get above it. So yeah, this looks like a pretty solid setup right in here, you know, something like that. Maybe you could just like straighten it out too if you like. Call this a level. Price is just hammering it, trying to get out above it. Typically what will happen is it'll hammer it, get above it to attract buyers, and quickly pull back in here to the trend line. That's why we always wait for the pullback and retest. You always buy it low. Never buy it up in here. You always wait for that pullback. And then after the pullback, if you see rejection, you can know, okay, all the buyers who jumped in up here have gotten stopped out because they got scared and freaked out, thought it would go lower. And you see rejection, you can buy it on here at a good price, and then you can see that it starts moving up. So that's definitely a good thing to do. So right in here would be a pretty good trade, about a 1 to 4.5 risk reward. That would be a solid area. Euro AUD, this will be one of the last ones I look at. This is one of those trades that you just wish everyone was like. Now let's see what that retracement was. From here to here on the fib, looks like it was literally a 61.8 tap on a wick, and then price couldn't make a lower low. It just screwed around before continuing up. So yeah, this was a pretty solid trade. So what I'd be looking to do is if price comes back here to this level, I'm going to be looking to buy. So I'll buy right here with wicks. So let's see what our risk reward would look like. Something like this. Put a stop probably right there. 50% of the previous move would be right up in here. So I'm going to do this next high instead of all the way up there. So it'll be 205 pips, risking 73. Almost a 1 to 3 risk reward. So pretty good, solid trade. Just deleted my trend line there. But so this, yeah, this will be a good trade if you get a discount. If you don't get a discount, don't enter. But yeah, how does this look? Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, all these peaks are respecting it. Cool. So yeah, this looks good. I don't think there's any other really pairs I was watching. I was watching Litecoin earlier, but man, we just keep cracking these lows right here. This thing's going south. This is the only cryptocurrency I'm invested in. I have a couple coins in Litecoin. So yeah, man, it's just been down. It's like my Litecoin portfolio is down like 40% from where I entered. I entered up in here, and got some profits, and then it went back down. So crazy stuff. USD Canadian dollar. Let's see what's going on here. It's rocketing up. So it looks like we cracked this previous high right here. So if price comes back and starts tapping around in here, and then shows rejection, and then hits this trend line with rejection, maybe you can look to buy. But I'm going to have to see something pretty clear because this is already very expensive. It's already very overpriced, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so this is some of my analysis for Monday, guys. I'll keep following up with a few videos here and there, but that's all I got for y'all this week. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me. I opened up 2 more student spots this week for Mission FX. I only opened 2. instead of 4 this week. So if you're interested, just shoot me a message on Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And if I still have the spots open, we can get you started for advanced training. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon. It's Nick with Mission FX here. You guys have a good week. Bye.